Spirit with me. I'm Jane, and I am coming at you. I'm coming at ya. I'm here in Costa Rica, and I am just enjoying my nows as much as possible. And what I wanted to share today, other than my hair, so this is completely off topic from remotely what we're going to talk about, but because it's body, mind, spirit, I got the hair, it's on my body. It has nothing to do with what I'm actually going to talk about, but it'll give you time to just kind of settle in. But I did something totally different with my hair when I styled it, and the curls are like they're like more of them. They're like smaller, if that makes sense. So we're gonna see how this lasts for how many days, but so far so good. We shall see. Anyway, so part of my styling today included a walk, and that is actually what I want to talk about. So I have gone for quite a few walks since I've been here because I don't have a car. And I have walked up to the bus stop and back because sometimes the bus just doesn't arrive. I have walked to the market, the grocery store. Um, every time, y'all. Because I have a new addiction, and there are these chips called patacones. Now, patacones are like fried plantains, and they're fried and kind of like put together, and so it's like a really big chip of banana chips. It's like many banana chips make one banana chip. And but the patacones they sell them like in a it's like a potato chip bag. And I love them a lot. And so I will walk to the little store, which is literally like a minute away. Um, and I'll buy myself one bag. They're small. And I'll make it last 2 days. And so that I don't feel like I'm like full blown, like, and then there's this little restaurant on the corner at the end of the town. We're kind of closer to the bus stop. And so it's, I don't know, a mile away, I guess. It's called Las Guanitas, and I think that translates to like the corner. And it's a little restaurant on the corner. And so I've been getting, well, when I go, I've been a couple times. I get something called a casado, and that is it's a meal of beans and rice, and then whatever meat you want. So pollo or carne, which is like cow. They'll have a fish. I got that one time. It was mahi, and then I feel like they have something else, but I don't recall. Anyway, because I remember four on there. Maybe it's pork. I don't remember. Anyway, it has little side salad, and then they give you two little pieces of plantain that have been sauteed, kind of fried, but not, and then like some other like surprise. And so the last time it was a potato of sorts, and it was kind of chopped. And this has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about, I swear, but I'm just sharing this. So thanks for listening. Um, and it was almost like a hash. So it was like cooked potatoes and spices, maybe a little bit of rice in there, and it was really yummy. So today, because I just went, it was like, it looked like, I thought they were banana chips because they were small like bananas in slices, but they were more like potatoes. So it was almost like it reminded me of a German potato salad without the vinegar and, or bacon or any of the seasonings, but it was still really good. And so it was like this cold potato salad with, I don't even know what kind of like dressing sauce it was. It was very mild, very light. Um, and so that's what I got. But my point is this walking thing. So, I'm going to share this coming from a perspective of my own, and I'm very aware that there are a lot of people who can't walk. And then I know that I'm very aware that there are a lot of people who also don't have a car right now, and they're walking all the time, and then we have everything in between. So this is for everyone. So what I noticed in my journey, in all of my walks that I do, which today, oh, let me tell you this one too, because it's just good. So there's a couple that's staying here as well, and I really like them. They're super sweet, and they're from the Ukraine. And she knocks on my door earlier, and she was like, and I can't remotely imitate the accent. She was like, "Do you want to go for a walk and look for sloths?" And I was like, "Yes, I want to go look for sloths. Yes, I do." So so she and I went for a really long walk to look for sloths. Didn't find any, but we had a really great conversation. Walked super far down. We were on a road that's kind of parallel to the beach, and then we hopped off onto the beach and came back. And so I did a lot of walk, done a lot of walking today, and I'm probably gonna go get a bag of those patacones because I love them. And maybe I might splurge and get a kombucha. Hey. Anyway, this is my life right now. I'm like, I'm gonna go get a bag of chips and maybe a kombucha. And I love it so much. Anyway, so my point about the walking, and this is the part, this body, mind, spirit part that's really made a difference for me in my mental health, and of course physical health, and then the energy slash spiritual health, just because of the way that I'm seeing and experiencing all this. And this is what I want to share. So I used to work out all the time. I would run all the time. If I went for a walk, I would be walking dogs. So I would just be walking to see, like, okay, I need to make sure that they get in so many miles, or I need to be out here for 20 minutes with them, or I need to walk until they poop. Like, whatever, right? There was always this like goal. I'm going to walk up to the corner and back. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And I'm also a very fast walker. If you've ever walked with me, you know this. I have a pace and I walk fast. I'm not a stroller. And I'm learning how to stroll. And I noticed this the other day when I was sitting at the beach in the morning, and this beautiful couple friend of mine had they were down there before me. I saw them and they take off running. They run down to whatever and then they run back and they run past me, and I was like cheering them on. I'm like, "Yay, like you're doing great." And they were like, "Join." And I was like, "I don't feel like it right now, but thanks." And what I noticed is they weren't running like I used to run. I used to run for time. Like I needed to get that 10-minute mile to be a 10-minute mile or under. I need to run because I needed to get that distance. I need to make sure I hit that 3 point whatever mile mark or whatever. Like I had these like really big goals. And what I noticed about their run together is that they were just jogging. They were just jogging. It didn't look like they were beating themselves up. Didn't look like they were trying to race each other. And it made me think about the last relationship I was in. We would run together sometimes before I got injured, which really sucked. Um, which I haven't really ran since, so maybe I'll try that at the beach. Anyway, but when we would run together, because he's a very fast runner and he's super athletic. And so I would be like running as fast as, not as fast as I could, but I'd be running. Meanwhile, being injured and it was just a mess. And I was like, oh my God, like this sucks. And so what I'm noticing about um, where I am now with my walks, and again, this is very new. Some of you might be rolling your eyes at this, but when I go for a walk and I'm just going to stroll, it's so different than all the other ways that I've ever walked. And like today, my goal was to get to this little restaurant so I could have brunch, dinner, the meal, whatever. Um, and um, oh, yay. Conversation whiplash. The owner just got back and I asked him to get me some peanut butter from the store. I want a peanut butter. Anyway, they don't have it where I am. Like, anyway. So, um, but this, like, so I was walking down to get this meal, and I'm by myself, and, old me would have just like walked fast, got there. And this time I was very deliberate in not, now granted, my pace, if you were walking with you might be like, if you were walking with me, you might be like, yeah, so you're still walking kind of fast. But my mentality around it changed. And that's my point. My mentality around my walk has shifted. So it's not, let me, let me achieve the goal. That's why I'm walking. It's how can I enjoy this walk more? What can I see? Let me look up. Let me look over a little bit more. Let me actually look around more and pause. So today I'm walking and I noticed this like really just random yellow flower in the middle of nowhere. Just, hi, I'm a yellow flower. Look at me. And I allowed myself to just slow down and like check it out. Like, yeah, flower, you are. Yeah, I see you. Walking by people and instead of just, head down, but actually looking at them, being like, hola, you know, making conversations with people. For me, trying to make conversations with people because I'm learning Spanish. I'm doing my absolute best. I'm studying it and speaking it as much as possible. And um, and what really landed for me was on the way back. So the sun was behind a lot of clouds because it's pretty cloudy here today. Um, I'll say it's overcast, yeah. And I could see the sun though behind the clouds, and it was like bright, but I could still stare at it. So I was staring at this bright white light behind these clouds, and it was just mesmerizing. And so I'm the girl walking in the middle of the street, stopped. Granted, it's like a 1.5 lane road. Um, so I stop and I'm just looking at the sky and the sun and having my experience and taking my time and noticing this like little baby bird that was sitting on a wire and then this other bird that took off and it looked so fake. It was just like, I am flapping my wings and I am not stopping anything. It was very interesting. I noticed some of the horses that are off over there. I noticed some of the cows. I noticed the stagnant water of this one area specifically. And I was just being really observant of my surroundings with the notion of I don't have with this mentality of I don't have anywhere to be. I don't have anything that I have to do, but I'm going to just enjoy this walk because I can enjoy this walk. And that changes everything because then my body doesn't feel like, "Ugh, I have to hurry up. I have to get there faster. I'm not going fast enough. She doesn't like me because I told her that I just wanted a nap, but she's making me walk." It was like this complete honoring system. And then the last body, mind, spirit, I was talking about honoring the body, like listening to the body and honoring it. And even this morning, my practice in the morning is to do some type of breath work, some type of movement, and some type of prayer or meditation. They're the same. It depends. It's just whatever. Am I receiving? Am I asking? It is. Anyway. So this morning I was like, started something. I started some breath work and then I was like, no, now I want to move. Okay. And then I did some movement. I was like, okay, now I want to do more breath work. Okay. So I did. And then I was like, no, now I want to dance. Okay. So I did that. And then I was like, now I want to do more breath work. And now I want to pray. No, now I want to meditate. Now I want to make some cacao. And then now I want to meditate. And now I want to pray. And it was this interesting experience where I was just so present with what I was doing, but I didn't stop this walk, this practice of my morning practice, but I wasn't as regimented. um, I was more fluid with it. I gave myself space. And something that I noticed about myself that I did today was that I didn't look at my phone. Now, normally when I wake up, I look at my phone to make sure I have, messages. Did somebody book an appointment? All these things. And this morning, I just looked at my phone to see what time it was. And then I did not look at it again until I was, um, for like an hour or whatever. And a lot of people may do that. And that's not common for me. And so it was like I was just really present with myself in my actions. Now, we say that, if we can just be present with ourselves, I mean, that's when we make like healthier decisions. We make better decisions. If I'm trying to escape or distract, then I'm unwilling to be present with myself. And so whenever we're doing anything, if we can just be really present with it and not give up on it, rather change it or tweak it or alter it in the now so that we can still honor what we're doing and make it more palatable. So, say you're walking and you have to get from point A to point B, you got to be there. Can you maybe just look around, go a different path, take a different route? Um, you know, Make sure you say hi to somebody on the street, Like, is there a way to engage in your experience that's just different? So that no matter if you're still doing the same thing over and over again, if you engage in it in a different way, in a way that you're very present, then one, not only does it calm the mind a little bit, it actually creates new neural receptors. It creates new neural pathways in the brain. Because when we do new things, we heal our brain. And if you've ever been like some of us who've used substances that don't do good for brain health, I need all I can get. Some of us need all we can get. So, like, if I can make my brain healthier because I'm choosing to walk a different way to the store, I'm choosing to go this way, but I'm not going to use my GPS and I'm just going to try it without it. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to change the order of it. So instead of me wake up, um, drink coffee, sit on my phone, and then work out, maybe I'll get up, drink water, work out, drink coffee, then might check my phone, or well, like just move it around a little bit. Just giving ourselves a little bit of that shift in a way that we're continually present with ourselves. It then tells our body, like, oh, you want to be with me? You're listening to me? Talked about this last time, right? So if I'm taking this walk and my body's like, slow down, okay, I'll slow down. Or maybe I'm going for a walk and my body's like, girl, speed up. I want to sweat. Okay, I want to do that. Because there are times when I go for a walk, I'm like, I'm going to take a really relaxing stroll. And the whole time I'm like, I really just I want to run. And then I don't do it. Or, um, I'll be in, say, a yoga practice and I just really want to lay down and start to stretch, but no, I'm doing this flow. Or I'm going for a walk and I just really want to stop and dance or whatever. I want to stop and smell flowers on the path. Like whatever it is, my invitation to all of us is to keep it changing, change it up a bit. Like whatever your habits are, keep them. Just change them up a bit. You know, in the morning, if you rinse your face off before you do anything for the day, why don't you give yourself an extra boost of like a cold water splash just for something different? Maybe you always do a cold water splash. Don't. Like, we only live through this life once. And what I feel is that we don't we don't break out of molds very much. We stay in very same patterns because we feel it to be safe. And I think that we can honor patterns and habits in ways that will keep us safe and introduce things of our own choosing, you know? So if every morning or every night, you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you go to bed. These are great. These are great. Nothing's wrong with those things. What if you brushed your teeth before you took a shower? What if you added 10 minutes of journaling in? about how it feels to brush your teeth and take a shower in a different order. These are the little things, but these are the little things that can keep our mind healthy because then the mind it 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 starts to think like, well, what else is going to happen? Like, I'm curious, right? It literally opens up our mind and it helps to heal our brain. It moves our body in new ways because our muscles have memory, and I know this, our body has a memory. Our body holds stuff in memory. And I know this by one little thing. And tell me if y'all feel this or experience this. Like, leave comments in here because I'll read them. So I know that this is a thing because I won't have to pee, right? Like, I'm good, don't have to pee, awesome sauce, I'm out running errands, I'm golden pony boy. And then I get to my house, still don't have to pee. I get my keys out of the ignition, still don't have to pee. I get them to put into the lock, the door handle to get into my house. And all of a sudden, it's like I have to pee more than anything else on earth. And it's literally because my body knows, my body has this memory that, oh, when the keys go in the handle, I'm going to be able to relieve my bladder. Okay, cool, let's do it. Like, okay, let's do it. And then, when I have to pee and then I'm like, fumble, I drop my keys. And then my body's like, oh, wait, oh God, oh, what? What was that? What was that? I gotta go. I don't know if y'all are, if I might be the only one and just giving you all a lot of information right now. But whatever. Um, but by me, playing with keys, that could train my body to know that I don't have to pee when I hear the sound of keys. We're like Pavlov's dog. We're conditionable creatures. It's a very interesting thing. And we don't understand typically that we can recondition ourselves. We can condition ourselves. And why not do it in fun ways, in like little things? So if you go for a walk, speed it up a little bit. Take it down a notch. You know, if walking isn't accessible and you can go outside and look at something different, you know? Like look up into the trees and breathe. You know, if you always sit in the back seat of a car behind the passenger, sit behind the driver. If you and your partner always walk next to each other, switch sides. Hold someone's hand in a different way. If you're gonna hug somebody, oftentimes we go to our left, but if you go to the right, some people call it a heart to heart hug. Whatever, it's still energy. But like go to the opposite side. You may need to warn them first because otherwise you might like bonk faces. Maybe you want that. I don't know. But if you don't, you might want to be like opposite way. If you normally put your pant legs on left and then right, do right then left. I know these things sound so silly, but it allows us to be more comfortable with change. And if we can do the little things, yay. And if we notice that we have resistance to changing the little things, putting on one shoe before you put on the other shoe. If it, whoa, cloud looks like a face. Kind of want to take a picture of it. Anyway, I won't. But it's like the clouds are like two eyeballs and the nose, and it's like empty behind them, and that's where the sun is. It's like it's reflecting my own face. Anyway, it looks so, it's not that bright. It's literally just like one bright, like sun right there, and then it's cloudy everywhere else around it. I digress. But my point is if we can experience change, and if we notice that we get a little triggered, activated, upset, annoyed, frustrated, we get space for healing. And then, okay, so that we just don't beat yourself up over it. If you're like, wow, that really frustrated me to brush my teeth with my left hand and not my right hand because I got mad at myself because I couldn't do it well. Ooh, wow. Okay. So that was some old judgment that I have on myself when I'm literally just trying something new. I'm just giving something else a shot. So we can take this into so many directions, but it allows us to be okay with change, be okay with experiencing new things, um, maybe experiencing um, gentle frustration and then handling it in a healthy way. You know, because old me, when I would get frustrated because I would do everything perfect and I would control everything, then if something went out of control, out of alignment, whatever, then my frustration would peak and it would throw me over the edge. But if I do things like brush my teeth with my opposite hand, write with the opposite hand, um, like literally doing anything that is a little bit not easy for me, but still totally accessible. Like for me, walking slower, taking my time, um, chilling out, whatever. Allowing myself those moments of frustration or like, I need to hurry up and get there. Wait, it's okay. No, I don't. I can feel that I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because, oh, I thought I'm still running on that. I have to hurry up. I have to hurry up, forgetting to have all the time in the world. And if I'm late, I'm late. And I'm not ever late, except that one time. Whatever. Um, so that's my invitation is to try something new with the things that you currently do and just play with it. Just play with it. That's all you got to do. No judgment on it. You can't mess it up. You can't fail. It's just adding something new into your life. You get to be the conscious creator of the change that you're experiencing. Because I tell you what, there's enough change happening around us that sometimes it's a lot, right? And so sometimes that's when we just want to go back to steady, go back to ritual, go back to the habit. Well, that's like black or white. That's like on or off. So that can be a little bit challenging if I need it to be all back to my habit, but my habit's not accessible. Well, then I can still like I love to walk. When I was in the jungle, I couldn't just go for the longest walks because it's jungle, you know. So um I would do more yoga and more dancing, more stretching. I would take more naps actually. I would do shorter walks. I would go down to the river and I'd sit down at the river and come back. Like I would do other things instead of just feeling the discomfort of I can't take a long walk, right? And now here I am on and where I am now, where I could take really long walks and I'm taking some long walks, but I'm not doing it for like I got to hurry up and do it for exercise. I'm doing it just because I can and it's enjoyable. So that's different for me. So, yeah, let's see if we can try new things in ways that is our choosing so that we can introduce healing for our brain, let our body do different stuff, experience certain things, change our muscle memory into new patterns. Because why not? We can just give it a shot. Um, and then just see what that does to your spirit. See if you're like, oh my God, I'm actually really good at writing my name with my left hand if I'm right-handed. Or, I tried to walk backwards the other day and it was so funny because I realized I was going off the path or whatever that is. Like, allow your spirit to be lighthearted about all of it. Allow you to be lighthearted about everything if possible. So that's what I wanted to share on my day that I was sleuthing for sloths and had no luck. But that's okay. Um, I had a beautiful conversation and a beautiful walk and enjoyed the cool breeze actually that was happening. In fact, it was really interesting because I was going at the pace I was going on the walk up to Las Bonitas. Um, it was really interesting because there were like two different temperatures of breezes blowing. There was like the really hot and humid one because duh. it's where I am. But then there was like a cool breeze, and it was like kind of they were both coming in at the same time, but it wasn't strong. It wasn't that like, it was very subtle. And so I was able to notice those things. So see what you notice when you change your presence focused on all the things that you do. And remember how loved you are. I love you all so much. Make sure you take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you on another now. Okay, love you. Bye.